Praise the Lord, brothers and sisters. Today we will reflect on the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 18. Here is my servant, whom I have chosen, my beloved, with whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to Gentiles. To understand this verse, let us go back to the imagery that St. Matthew paints in today's Gospel. The Pharisees were planning to destroy Jesus. They were offended that Jesus had healed a man with a withered hand, and his disciples had plucked grains on the Sabbath day. They called these acts unlawful. To illustrate the behavior of the Pharisees, imagine a nurse who is instructed by the doctor to administer sleep-inducing pills to a patient who is in pain and hasn't been able to sleep for days. When this nurse comes to the patient's room, she finds him sound asleep. Even then, she wakes him up and administers the sleeping pill. This is how the Pharisees behaved when it came to the following the letter of the law instead of the spirit of the law. Israel indeed needed a shepherd after God's own heart. This is why St. Matthew quotes Prophet Isaiah's words in today's Gospel. Now, with this background, we are ready to dive into Matthew 12:18, which is our reflection for today. This verse has 6 key aspects of Jesus' call, which we will ponder over today. The first, servant. This is one of the most beautiful and fitting titles given to Jesus in Isaiah prophecy, 700 years before Jesus was born. The Greek word Pius, used here, means an intimate servant who was trusted and loved as a son. Jesus, the Son of God, in his humility, chose to become his Father's servant on earth. Second, chosen. God the Father had chosen his Son Jesus to serve us and to give his life as ransom for the redemption of mankind from the slavery of sin. The third, beloved. Jesus fully understood the deepest pain of the Father's heart was the salvation of his children. The demands of the law required a sacrificial offering of an unblemished lamb, and to satiate the desire of Father's heart, his beloved Son, Jesus was willing to submit himself to be that sacrificial lamb. Fourth, pleased. Jesus completely depended on his Father to fulfill his mission. He sought the Father in deep prayers and contemplation. He said what the Father told him to say. He did what the Father told him to do. He was perfectly obedient to the Father, and the Father was pleased with him. Fifth, Spirit. At his baptism, Holy Spirit descended upon him as a dove, and a voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." These words of affirmation were repeated again at the Transfiguration on Mount Sinai. The final and the sixth aspect, justice. The word justice is taken from Hebrew word mishpat, which means to be concerned about the most vulnerable members of a society and to serve their interests. Jesus demonstrated this to us by healing the sick, delivering the possessed, irrespective of their caste or social status, many times even on the Sabbath day. So, what does all this mean to us today? As co-heirs with Christ, God is speaking the same words of affirmation to each one of us today. This is my beloved Son, this is my beloved daughter, in whom I am well pleased. He is calling each of us to imitate his Son by giving of ourselves as his chosen beloved servants. It could be a call to the religious or consecrated life, or a call to join a particular ministry in your parish or a prayer group, or a call to bring justice to this hurting world, especially in these trying times. No matter what He is calling you to, remember that as you answer His call today, He will anoint you with the same Spirit and He is pleased with you. Thank you and God bless.
Go and subscribe to our channel. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Comment below in the comment section and also share it with others. Don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications. Thank you and God bless.